Let's have a conversation. What's going on, y'all? We are on Reindeer Games, episode 2. Let's have a conversation. So, at the very beginning of the episode, we have Brittany and Danielle continuing to have this conversation that they've been having since episode 1, which is to say, we need to break up the power duo of Cody and Frankie. In a game like this, when there's only 9 players to begin with, it's like there's less hiding that you can do. There's less faking like you guys are not close. It just is what it is. People kind of know things from the beginning. And as soon as they have a chance to get those shots, they're going to take those shots. Good evening, Ed. Good evening, Cass. And good evening, Edward. So the next thing that we have is a scene where Xavier and Frankie are having a conversation, and Frankie is basically like, hey, X, I know that I put you in there, but it was not really a personal thing that I had against you. And ultimately, I hope that you and I can work together in the future because you're a strong player and I really want to work with you and we can help each other. So they make some kind of like gentleman's agreement type of thing between the two of them. And Xavier is like, I'm not an emotional player. You made the right move. I understand. I get it. And then Xavier says in his diary room, he's like, we make an agreement. Is that agreement to be honored? We'll see. But the way that I see it is that they know that it's only 6 days that they're doing this. So the agreements are kind of like Survivor agreements for anyone who watches Survivor, meaning they could change every single day. There's no such thing as really an alliance that is going to last day 1 to day 6. Good evening, Sheena. Okay. So we get into the first challenge. So now we've seen that all the challenges have a format. They are going to switch up whether it's going to be individual, team, 2 people, 4 people, whatever it is. But in terms of 1, 2, 3, the games, the Naughty and Nice challenge, the Jingle Brawl, and the Santa, what is it called? The Santa Showdown. We know that those 3 are going to be there every single episode, it seems like. So we started out with the Naughty and Nice challenge, which was, again, having to guess a song. Yeah, so for those of y'all who don't know, who were not involved in this fantasy draft that we did, Cass had the number 1 pick for the draft, which she picked Cody as number 1. And then because we had an odd number of people, but we basically had 1 extra person. So we all decided that the last pick would get to pick anybody. So it was basically like having the number 1 and the number 2 pick in the draft. And the number 2 pick, Cass picked Cameron. Cameron went out first and Cody went out second. So our person with the highest statistical chance to win our fantasy draft is out after episode 2. Yeah, this is our first Reindeer Game draft, and now people are not going to want to have the first pick curse going into next year if they do this again. Hi, Charm Life. So getting back to the show, hi, Tammy. Cody is now in a spot. He realizes, it shows Cody speaking in the diary room and realizing, hey, everybody is out to get me. The people that I thought were aligned with me are not really aligned with me. And aside from Frankie, I'm on my own. He was like, Taylor was throwing shots at me. Danielle was throwing shots at me. People that I thought were going to work with me in the game are not really working with me in the game. So now he's saying it's imperative for me to win these comps before we get to the Santa Showdown to give me the best chance of staying in the game. Salt in the wound. There's no first pick curse. It's just that Cass is bad at picking. All right. So we get into the Naughty and Nice challenge, and a lot of people are throwing it. I guess because they saw that they didn't really like the first episode power that was given, which is to give somebody an advantage and to give somebody a disadvantage in the Jingle Bell Brawl challenge. However, this one was different because I don't remember how they phrased it, but basically they were saying that there's going to be a significant advantage given to this person who wins the Naughty and Nice challenge. So a bunch of people throw it. Brittany throws it. X throws it. Taylor throws it. A bunch of them are throwing that challenge. Cody wants to win. So Cody takes the reins and he wins the challenge. He's like, the correct song is Deck the Halls. So he guesses the right song. Cody gets the power. Strangely, a lot of people are upset about that when they let him have it, but they were upset because they were thinking, oh, I hope that one person is going to try to win. So Cody gets a huge power, just like Cass got in our draft. And Cody's power, the next Jingle Bell Brawl was going to be a 4-on-4. So the person who won the Naughty and Nice challenge gets to pick his team, his or her team, but his team because Cody won the Naughty or Nice challenge. He gets to pick his team of the other 3 people that are going to compete with him. And then he gets to pick the person who gets the disadvantage, which doesn't really matter because it's a team thing. So the whole team gets the disadvantage. However, I guess letting them know who you pick for the disadvantage kind of shows your hand in terms of who you're going against. So Cody, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, who would I pick if I were Cody? Obviously, he picked Frankie because Frankie is his number one. Frankie is really good at competitions. Frankie is his friend. Now, the other 2 picks, it's a little bit iffy here. Now, I thought that he made a big mistake picking Nicole, to be quite honest. He got X in the room, and because X and him have a rapport. I don't know if people know this, but him and X are friends outside of the house. They became friends. So I think that factored in addition to obviously X typically being good at comps, but they're friends outside the house. So X was the 3rd person that he brought in after speaking to Frankie. And then they spoke to X and they were deliberating on who they want to bring in as that 4th person. They thought about Josh. They thought about Taylor. They thought about Nicole. I thought Nicole would be the worst pick out of the 3, and I was absolutely right about that. But they were thinking, oh, we have all the brawn, and we need the brains of the operation. Any one of the rest of the ladies would have been a better pick than Nicole, but that's who we picked. So his picks were Frankie, Xavier, and Nicole. So what this challenge turned into was this balancing thing that they had to do on these Christmas trees. I will say Brittany always has the best DR commentary. She definitely does. Brittany's commentary has me cracking up. Her DRs feel like the only ones not scripted. I agree. Her commentary was a really good way to get a laugh. Yeah, so she called that team. She was like, clearly, Cody was trying to pick the losing team, and he picked the team of misfits, and I don't really like our chances. It even showed Josh in the DR. Oh, Santa, why are you doing this to me? I don't really believe in this team. So it was all set up like this would be one of the biggest upsets in Big Brother history if Team Red, which was Josh, Danielle, Taylor, who's the fourth person? Brittany, Josh, Danielle, Taylor, and Brittany versus Team Cody, green team. Cody, Frankie, X, and Nicole, which Nicole to me was a handicap, which she showed herself to be a handicap, but it is what it is. Mustard team faith in Team Red. And then when I saw Nicole taking so long, Cody gave Taylor the disadvantage, which was that she basically had to do a tree at the beginning that didn't count for anything before they could even start. But Nicole took so long that Taylor was able to go, and then the red team was able to pass Nicole. And then X did terrible. And then Frankie did, I don't know. But Cody didn't even get to go. Cody did not even get to go, and he's the one who picked the team. So I guess that's kind of poetic justice there. So Team Red pulls off the upset of the century and takes out Team Green. Josh takes us home. I can't believe I'm saying that. Josh Martinez was the anchor leg of this team of four. Josh actually was the final person who sealed the win for the red team. All right. I'll get over that eventually. Anyways, X can't be good at everything. So where are we at here? So okay, so what the red team gets a chance to do now is they have to pick one person that is going to be safe from going into the Santa showdown. And the other three that are not picked have to go into the Santa showdown. 3 of them this time. So I was like, okay, we got X, we got X, we got Cody, we got Frankie, and we got Nicole. So I was automatically thinking by default, Nicole is going to be the one saved because they're going to want the 3 guys to go against each other because they are 3 of the strongest, if not the 3 strongest competitors in the house. And they're definitely not worried about Nicole like that. So I was not surprised about the pick for Nicole to be safe. Who would have thought one of us would say that? I don't care who wins as long as Brittany is safe. I like Brittany. Franzo would have. Oh, well, with that particular challenge, I don't know. I have $80 on her, but she's my fave. So they picked Nicole to be safe. So she didn't have to go into this last Santa showdown. So the Santa showdown was between Xavier, Cody, and Frankie. So the showdown ended up being a Christmas list where it showed what these kids want for their Christmas gifts. And it showed things that they like and it showed things that they don't like. So it was another puzzle elimination. So they have to find the toy that corresponds to what the kid asked for and put it in the box. As was the case in episode 1, X showed himself to be a competition beast once again, despite the fact that he was terrible in the Jingle Bell Brawl Challenge, balancing those Christmas balls. You know, he was excellent in this memory game and this matching game, and he won first. It looked like Frankie cheated off of him a little bit, and Frankie ended up going in second, which meant the person that everybody thought is the one with the biggest chance of winning the game went home. Episode 2, and that person is Cody. And I said this in my Discord. Cody's last 2 showings on TV have been terrible. His showing on the Traders was terrible, and his showing on this was terrible. But I will say this about Cody in Cody's defense. Cody has now achieved a status where people don't want him to win. And everybody looks at him on whatever show that he's on, and they're like, he's too good at these games, and I don't trust him. So how can we get him out? So Cody starts every game now with a disadvantage, and there's nothing he can do about it. And a lot of people, I think, did not like how easily he went through, especially Big Brother All-Stars season 22. So they're like, we can't let Cody just roll through this game. Everybody was against Cody except for Frankie. I don't think X was really actively against Cody, but everybody else except for Frankie and X were specifically against Cody from day one. Cody was not ever on the challenge. Xavier looked at Taylor and his alliance like, y'all dead to me. It's not dope, unlike music and mental health. And my thought was that why was Nicole bummed, but she wanted him gone? I don't think she was bummed in terms of that he's gone. It was just more like Cody is a shield. And without this shield in the game, there's going to be more eyes on me. But still, Nicole happens to benefit in this game by being definitely the weakest physical competitor in the game. I'm not going to say she's the worst mental competitor, but definitely the weakest physical one. So nobody's really looking at her like that. So she achieves Bowie Jane status in this game. She's lucky in that sense. No, ma, only his hotter brother. Oh, that makes sense. So Cody goes home. Cody is the person who was picked number 1 in our draft. Cody is the person who, if anyone had to just pick one person randomly who they think might be able to win this Reindeer Games thing, they'd probably pick Cody. Cody is out. X is a comp beast. Nicole's a floater. Frankie's profile has now gone up, I believe, because now they're going to be looking at, okay, Cody is gone. So now they're probably going to be looking at Frankie and X next, unless they win, of course. They need to win. What else? Josh is kind of in the middle floating status as well. Home with the fruitcake. And then Frankie was like, you got 2 fruitcakes, and jumped on him. You got 2 fruitcakes, Cody. Hi, Mark. Sorry I'm late. Replay crew, because I'm not going to be on here too long. How dare you be late? Lisa's picks came up big today because Lisa's picks were both on the winning team. So she gained 30 points in our fantasy game because Lisa had 2 picks, Taylor and Josh. And both of them were on the winning team. All right. No more talk about Polly's body. My mother-in-law FaceTimed me while she sat in the dark. All right. So I think that if I was to speak on who I think is in the best positions in this game after episode 2, I would probably say, I honestly think that Brittany's in a solid spot. I think that Danielle's in a solid spot. I think that Nicole's in a pretty good spot. I think that Taylor's kind of middle of the pack. Josh is a little bit middle of the pack. And I think that Frankie and X are in the hot seat right now. They have to win. They have to win, or they're most likely going to go in that Santa showdown. So what we know now is that the Jingle Bell Brawl is the most important game of every episode. The first thing is it can be important, but as we saw, Cody pulled a Cass and picked all the wrong people and ended up going in the Santa showdown and went home. So winning the first part is cool, but winning the second part is the one that gives you safety. So it seems like from here on out, unless X or Frankie wins those Jingle Bell Brawl challenges, they're going in until they go home. And it seems like the ladies, whether they're really working together as a group or not, are a group enough to say we want the guys to be out, unlike what they were doing on BB25. Next time you bring up his body, you're getting a 300-second timeout. I found out too late, Edward. I didn't even Mark cheesing like he wasn't going to pick Cody if I hadn't. I wouldn't. There was no way that Cody was going to drop to me at number 4. So Cody wasn't even an option for me. Yeah, if I was number 1, I would likely pick Cody, but I was number 4. So Cody was never an option on my draft board. Unless some miracle happened and nobody above me picked him. So therefore, yes, I am cheesing. So episode 3, I think it's Thursday, right? Thursday at 9 p.m. I will definitely be back for that. I have enjoyed episode 1 and 2. Despite not necessarily liking how the results have been going as a fan. I like how the results have been going in my fantasy draft, but not as a fan. So we got 3 episodes left. Oh no, we got 4 episodes left. But we got 3 episodes left to see who's going to be in the final episode, which is going to be a showdown between the final 4. This is getting really interesting to me. I'm enjoying it. I know some people have said they have not been enjoying Reindeer Games, but I have definitely been enjoying Reindeer Games personally. Let me know in the comments what y'all think of the game so far. My next guess of going home is Josh. I said earlier today that I give Josh, what did I say? 3 episodes. So that might be my next person going home as well. And then they showed in the preview Josh crying, which we have not seen yet. So that could be in the next episode. Or he could be crying in the final. Who knows? But he's going to be crying at some point. I like the fact that Reindeer Games is fast paced and there's no alliances to really hide behind. From day one, everybody knows who's pretty much working with who. We're not sitting here like, oh, we got the 5, we got the 7, oh, we got the professors, we got the this, we got the that. It's like, no. We see who's talking to who. There's only so many of you in there. We know who has previous relationships with who. It's a mathematical game, and it's just a matter of who wins the comps. That's it. Who's the most entertaining on the show so far? Brittany. Easy one for me. Brittany is definitely the most entertaining for me. Who's the most entertaining to y'all? Brittany is hilarious. Brittany's commentary, her DRs, definitely number one for me. I also think Frankie's entertaining. But really, Brittany is definitely number one and not close for me. Taylor and Josh have been funny. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think Brittany has been the most entertaining. The MVP, I might have to give it to X just because of the fact that X has been in both Santa Showdowns and X has dominated both Santa Showdowns. I might have to give him that so far. Edward, I'm eliminated. Oh no. I feel a little bit bad for Cass, but just a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Nobody did any side bets, so hold on. Let me see. Y'all want me to put up who's winning? I'll show you in a second. I think I can do that. I believe I can do that. If it lets me do it, because sometimes StreamYard is funny with me. I can also just tell you if that does not work out for me. Well, I'll just tell you. So far, I have 55 points. Lisa and Ma have 50 points. So they're tied for second. Tasha has 30 points. So she is in fourth. And Cass is eliminated. So far, I'm in first by 5 points. However, we're only 2 episodes in and things could change. We also have double points going into the last episode. So there's a lot of game to go. But so far, I'm slightly in the lead. Thanks to X. Thanks to Frankie winning, not winning, but, not losing the Santa Showdown. Yeah, we're very close. The top 3 is very close. Tasha is in there. Tasha's game is all leaning on X right now because Tasha had Cam. So Cam is out. So she has X. X basically has to win a bunch of daily challenges, maybe eliminations, and X pretty much has to win the game for Tasha to make that big comeback. Which he could. I'm not saying he could not. X is a hard person to take out. This is very hard for me to answer because everything changes based on who wins that Santa, the Jingle Bell Brawl, which is the second competition. That determines so much. So if, let's say, next episode, Xavier wins the Jingle Bell Brawl, then he could throw in Brittany and Danielle. And that changes the whole game. See, at the beginning, they're throwing in, oh, we got to throw in the comp beast. But now if you think about it, now that the women have showed their hands where they're like, we just want to throw in the men, I think the men will follow suit because even though they could say to themselves, I might have a harder time beating the other men in some of these competitions, I know the women are going to throw me in anytime they get the chance. So we've got to get rid of some of them because 2 men have gone home so far and all the eliminations have been 100% men in the eliminations. So Cameron and X episode 1, and then X, Cody, Frankie episode 2. So I know any of the men win. I don't know what Josh would do, because I think Josh might side with the women, because especially when Cody did not pick him to be on his team. But definitely if Frankie or X wins another one of these Jingle Bell brawls, they'll probably throw two of the women in. Me having two females are looking good so far. Well, as long as the females keep winning, it's looking great. I think statistically a man's gonna win. It's iffy. It's iffy. But what I do know is, oh man, nobody can throw these. So they've made these Jingle Bell Brawl things. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's just so random. Basically, a man wins, a woman's going in, a woman wins, a man's going in. And so far, team number 2 for the Jingle Bell Brawl, even though Josh was on there, had 3 women on there, and they had to unanimously agree. So there was that. And then the first one, you could kind of say that it was a miss by Frankie, but Frankie didn't know right away that everybody was going to be going after Cody like that. Because I think that if he did know that, he might have picked a little bit differently. Who's going to win draft, Edward? Who's going to win the draft? I don't know. It's hard to say. Right. They are definitely not comp beast type of comps. Like balancing Christmas decorations on the Christmas tree is not really a comp beast thing. Okay, y'all. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank you for joining me. This has been fun so far. The next episode is Thursday. I'm going to be here on Thursday. I'm going to be here on Wednesday recapping the challenge. And I'm going to be back here on Thursday. Probably Thursday morning, I'll recap Survivor. And then Thursday in the evening, I will recap the Reindeer Games episode 3. Oh man, I just had to say before I go how terrible Nicole was at that. I mean, X was bad too, but Nicole gave up that entire advantage that they had by being so terrible and shaky at that thing. That was a terrible pick. Sorry, Cody. You made your bed and you had to lay in it. Cody looked bad on this, and Cody looked bad on Traders. I'm interested to hear what he has to say, actually, on the Winner Circle. I haven't been watching that lately, but I want to see what he has to say about his choices, his thoughts about that. I'm actually going to recap. I'm probably going to watch whatever he said about that. I don't know if he's put something up already or if he's going to later, maybe tomorrow. But I'll take a look at it, and if it's anything interesting, I'll recap that for y'all tomorrow. And I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing night. And we are definitely going to talk again.
You are now tuned in to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark. I need for y'all to stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe because the math ain't mathin', okay?